What if I told you that the very thing you're trying to get rid of is trying to tell you something important? That frustration you feel when nothing seems to work, that overwhelming sense that you're somehow doing it all wrong. What if it isn't a problem at all? What if it's a hidden compass pointing you toward your deepest transformation? Hi everyone, welcome back to Gentle Mastery. Today we will explore something that could completely change how you see your day-to-day struggles and challenges. To help us understand this better, we'll draw wisdom from one of the greatest teachers working today, Byron Katie. She developed a revolutionary process for how to work with our most difficult thoughts and emotions. 2 years ago, I was doing everything right, following all the productivity advice. I was optimizing every aspect of my life, and yet something felt deeply wrong. The more I pushed, the more frustrated I became. And the more frustrated I became, the harder I pushed. It was a vicious cycle that many of you have told me you're experiencing too. You've shared your stories of feeling like you're constantly swimming upstream, wondering why methods that work for others don't work for you. You've shared your suspecting that there must be something wrong with you. But here's what I discovered, and what Katie so brilliantly teaches. Life is simple. Everything happens for you, not to you. We've been taught to see frustration as a sign we're doing something wrong, something to push through or overcome, a problem to be solved. But what if frustration is a messenger carrying vital information, a hidden compass pointing towards our truth, a gift guiding us to alignment? This is where Byron Katie's simple 4-question process becomes so powerful. Through her method called the work, she shows us that our most difficult feelings aren't obstacles, they're doorways. When we feel frustrated, we typically do one of two things. We either push harder, which often makes things worse, or we give up, which doesn't serve us either. But there's a third option, one that Katie calls questioning our thoughts. Instead of asking, why can't I make this work? We can ask, what is this frustration trying to tell me? Let me show you how this works in practice. We'll use Katie's 4 questions adapted for this journey of gentle mastery. When you feel frustrated, pause and ask, is this situation truly aligned with who I am? Can I absolutely know this is the right path for me? How do I react when I force myself to follow the required approach? Who would I be without this struggle? Let me share a specific example from my journey out of a status quo work situation into the aligned guidance work I've now dedicated my life to. I was in a job where for over 7 years I was constantly pressured to prove my worth. When I look at the 4 questions, is this situation truly aligned with who I am? No, this situation was not truly aligned. But as a people pleaser, a lifelong people pleaser, I kept blaming myself rather than seeing the situation for what it truly was. Second question, can I absolutely know this is the right path for me? I actually know it cannot be the right path for me because it felt so belittling and disrespectful. The third question, how do I react when I force myself to follow the required approach? I reacted with bitterness and resentment. Then the last question, who would I be without this struggle? I would be someone who feels free. When I finally understood this truth, and also found out about my human design basics, type, strategy, authority, profile, incarnation cross. It was so clear to me where the bitterness came from and how out of alignment the situation was for me. These realizations and truths led me out of that job and into creating Gentle Mastery. Without the understanding of my human design basics, I would probably still be trying to prove my worth to the people at that company. This is why I'll be introducing a new human design product at gentlemasterymethod.com very soon, so that you can understand how you're designed to align with the various situations in your life, work, relationships, and abundance. When we learn to interpret our frustration as guidance rather than failure, something remarkable happens. We stop fighting ourselves, start listening, and most importantly, begin to trust our inner wisdom. As Byron Katie says, "When I argue with reality, I lose, but only 100% of the time." Here's a simple practice to begin working with your frustration compass. First, notice when you feel most frustrated in your current growth journey. Second, listen to what specific message this frustration might be trying to tell you. Third, using Katie's questions, examine your assumptions about what should be working. And finally, begin to trust this guidance as a gift rather than seeing it as a problem. Your frustration isn't your enemy. It's not a sign that you're doing something wrong. It's your inner wisdom speaking to you, showing you the way to your most aligned path. If this resonates with you, I invite you to share in the comments below. What message might your current frustration be trying to tell you? If you're ready to dive deeper into transforming your relationship with frustration, click the link below to download my free guide, the Gentle Mastery Hidden Compass Workbook. In my next video, I'll share the personal story of how one book completely transformed my relationship with money and revealed the surprising truth about what was holding me back. You won't want to miss this one.